Hello, my name is Ian Hill. The other day I got a phone call from Steve, there with the York Athletic Directors Association. And Steve said, hey Ian, we're having a meeting of all the directors. Could you come? Now what's funny about that is that I have been obviously, like many people, read of all the situations and everything that's been going on and the ups and downs. And I said, well, Steve, what do you got going on? He said, well, we gather every quarter or whatever, and we chat about how to do what we do well. And he said, I just would like you to come by and say a few words about your perspective of the importance of athletics, athletic directors, coaches, and the like, and the difference that it makes in kids' lives. I said, well, I'm not going to be able to do that. I got to be down in the States at that time. So, that's where we are right now. I'm in a studio down in Nevada. And I said, I won't be able to do that, but I would like to say something because I've been following all that's been going on. Obviously as a bystander in the paper, radio, whatever, TV, internet. I would like to say something, especially to these specific people. You see, I have an interesting perspective on what you do every day. There's a DVD that's been given to you, I believe. It's a DVD, it's a movie about the organization that my wife and I founded called Let Them Be Kids. And we've done close to 160 projects across Canada. Volunteer projects, building playgrounds and skate parks and fitness parks. And the reason that I gave you that DVD is because of the unique perspective I have on what you do every day. You see, that DVD, those 160 projects, the incredible community impact that's come from the projects that we've done, in communities literally from coast to coast, from Belle Isle, Newfoundland to Port Alberni, BC, from Hay River in the Northwest Territories to Crystal Beach, Ontario, and all points in between. All of that goodwill, all of that volunteerism, and the 3 schools that we've opened, and the rec centers that we've started, and the scholarships that we've funded, all of that, look at that DVD. Look at it. You know how that happened? It happened because of somebody like you. Somebody like you. Jake Rowden, Bruce Johnson. Those were my athletic directors. They were the ones that put in the early mornings and the late nights and the weekends. They were the ones that put in the time and the energy so I could have an opportunity to succeed as a young person through athletics. They didn't get heralded. They didn't get publicized. Hell, in your case, you don't even get paid. But 21,000 kids' lives are better. 21,000 kids are more enriched. 21,000 kids get an opportunity to do something they love. And in that opportunity, they gain the skills and the insight and the wisdom to be a successful citizen of tomorrow. How do you know that to be true? I know that to be true because that's me. That DVD you hold in your hand is a direct result of somebody like you. It has nothing to do with me. It has to do with somebody like you. And it's funny, when you look at the athletes that have come out of your region and gone on to bigger and brighter things. Yes, there's WNBA and an NCAA tournament and da-da-da-da-da-da. We can make a list of all of the athletes that have come from the York region that are doing big things on big stages. And that's impressive. But you know what? You know what's more impressive? The moms and the dads that you've turned out. The good citizens that you've turned out. The successful small business owners that you've turned out. The successful citizens that you've turned out that never went on to compete at an elite level of athletics. And whether that was basketball or soccer or football or hockey or skiing or table tennis or the rock climbing or the track or the cross country or the myriad of other athletics that you make a possibility and opportunity for those kids. Forget about the elite. Because the 21,642 or whatever the number is, they probably aren't going on to elite. But they are going to be citizens. And you're building the citizen of tomorrow. I say, Ian, why are you getting so emotional? Because it means something to me. Because I know that DVD and all the communities we've impacted wouldn't be there if it wasn't for you. Neither would the schools or the businesses or anything we've done. Wouldn't be there if it wasn't for somebody like you. Then I have a second perspective on what you do every day. Because I was a coach. I coached the high school and the university level down in the States. Big time athletics. And I saw firsthand the difference that I could make. But you know what? I couldn't make any of that difference if it wasn't somebody organizing, somebody coordinating, somebody making sure everything got where it needed to be. Somebody like you. And I realized a whole different perspective of the opportunity that we had to build the citizen of tomorrow. And then I got out of coaching because I got smart. No offense. I got smart. Needed to make a little money. Baby needed new shoes. Then got involved philanthropically in my community. And then got philanthropically involved in my country and continent. And then philanthropically involved in my world. And I've come to realize on that third perspective that the last bastion of teaching the intangibles that help a person be a citizen is through the vehicle called athletics. And that's you. Now listen, let me be clear. I didn't say you get thanked. I didn't say you get appreciated. I didn't say that many, many citizens within York region and beyond even know what you do. I didn't even say people, obviously in the last little bit, are even acknowledging the work that you do. And in your specific instance, the work that you do for free. But all of that dialogue is way above my pay grade, man. It is. It's beyond me. I don't know policy and legislation and this and that and negotiation. I don't know nothing about that. I know about the kids. And I know that your work is noble and honorable and makes a significant difference in young people's lives. And you turn out and you build the citizen of tomorrow and you teach the key ingredients that help a young person and eventually an adult be successful in life. I know that. So in these turbulent times, in these changing times, hold on to that. Hold on to the fact that you're making a significant difference. And even though they may not see it, the coach that made the most significant difference in my life isn't even alive today. Both of the two coaches that made the most significant difference in my life never saw what I became. All they knew I was Rockheaded Hill. Rockhead Hill. That's what they remember. But it didn't matter to them. They planted the seeds. They put in the time and they put in the energy. Now I know many of you, you do both. You do your athletic director's position and you're coaching as well. You have your feet in both. But both are vital and both are important and both are critical. And in these times that are changing and in these turbulent times where you feel underappreciated or undervalued and it just gets so heated and so tense, I just want you to know this. I want you to know you make a significant difference in people's lives. And don't back up and don't pull back. Please, I beg of you, keep doing the best that you possibly can for the kids. And know this, there's one guy and his wife and our family that thanks you. Thank you for your time and your energy. Thank you for your effort. I'll close with a poem. It's a poem that was taught to me by a coach. Maybe you've heard it before. It goes like this. I'm only one and I am one. I'm only one, but I am one. I can't do everything, but I can do something. That which I can do, I ought to do. And that which I ought to do, I will do. I think that's an appropriate poem for where you're at. No, you can't do everything, dude. You're only one person. All of this stuff that's going on, you can't control all that, but you are one person. And you have talent, and you have ability, and you have knowledge, and you have insight, and you have wisdom, and you can share it. Sharing it with your fellow coaches, sharing it with your fellow athletic directors, and sharing it with the kids. Providing them with a vehicle and a platform and a framework to do something good and do something great and build their esteem and their worth, and yes, their athletic skill. Translating that into being the citizen of tomorrow. No, I know you can't do everything, but dang it, you can do something. What's the something that you'll do today? What's the something you'll do to advance this thing in a positive way? and set and role model an example for the young people of how we deal with difficult and challenging times. That which I can do, I ought to do. Responsibility. It's a responsibility. I have one, you have one, we have one. Collectively, we have a responsibility to give our best to those kids, regardless of circumstances. And that which I can do, I ought to do. And that which I ought to do, I will do. Commitment. You know the difference between involved and committed? It's like that chicken and a pig and a bacon and egg breakfast. That chicken is involved. The pig is committed. Commitment. Commit yourself to the kids. Yeah, but I'm getting taken advantage of, Ian. I'm getting screwed over. Commit yourself to the kids. Because that's, you can lay your head down on a pillow at night and sleep well. All of that to say this. Thank you. Thank you for the early mornings and late nights. Thank you for the weekends. And thank you for doing all of it with little or no recognition, and certainly for no pay. And if we can ever help you in any way, you let us know. Thank you for the contributions you've made. Take care, everybody.